la 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 la. Shout out to that girl Nelly, the artist, man. It's her birthday today. She's
Happy
joining the
birthday.
30 Club. With her young self.
Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. What else we got? What else we got?
Donnie Yen is going to be in John Wick 4.
John Wick. It Man.
Yes, sir.
It's gonna be interesting. Interesting. So, like, okay, from what I've read, the brief bit that I read about that, he's going to play somebody who was kind of trained in the same way that John Wick was trained. So I wonder,
Mm.
is he going to be friend or foe?
Mm.
Because like it just seemed like it's too much potential for him. I think he would be much better as an adversary than you know what I'm saying? Than
Yo,
a
I want him to
friend.
be a photo, man. Real
That's
talk.
what I'm saying. Like he should be like an adversary. Like
Yeah,
it man, what?
right.
What?
And the fact that he's going to be with gun. Yeah, I can't wait, man. I think, yo,
It man with guns?
yeah.
Gun fu?
Yo, man, pretty much that's all John Wick is, man. That's gung fu.
Facts.
That's it, man.
Facts.
Once the guns go away, he's going to pick up something: pencil, piece of glass, throwing knives, pool stick.
Bro, I still haven't seen the third joint.
Oh man,
I've been meaning to see it, but
damn,
it's
damn.
just it's like a sea of programs and movies that I
Yeah.
haven't seen that I need to see, and that shit is just it's in the water. It's something
Okay.
about it, bro. It's like if I don't see it like the first I say couple of weeks is out,
Right.
I'm probably never I ain't gonna say never gonna see it, but it's gonna be a while before I see it.
Okay.
And I'm gonna just
Um,
forget about it.
big up to my boy Big Shot, aka Jason, or Jason, aka Big Shot. But
Yeah.
he saw Quiet Place 2, and he
Oh
was
yeah,
like,
yeah, I saw
it
that.
is cinema brilliance. Now you know whenever a nigga says cinema brilliance, you know it's some shit, right?
I love
It
my
ain't
people, man.
right. It ain't yo, this shit's good as hell, fam. You gotta check it out. Nah, bro, it is cinema brilliance.
I love the listen. I love the code switching that we do, bro. It's like no other group of people can do that because like we could be talking as hood as we want to talk, hood, super duper hood, barbershop talk, and then it could switch it over to the interview language. Indubitably, you know what I'm saying? Indubitably, yes, yes, quite indeed. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
We can speak that Queen's English too. We do it all, you know.
Yeah, but that's one, like you were saying, man, one joint that I need to catch too, man, because again, you gotta see that in the movie
In the
theater.
theater, you
You
have
got
to
to, man.
appreciate the sound, you know. Or lack thereof.
Yeah.
That was something I had never experienced in a movie theater
Oh
before.
man, man.
Never. Never.
Yo, the first one, man, like real tight. You can hear like the popcorn kernel that's like floating down to the ground and like dropping like just dropping ever so lightly on the ground. Like that's how quiet the damn theater was, man, because it's like, it's like people were like yo, shut the fuck up.
Exactly.
Yo,
Exactly. Like, oh, especially that part. Remember that part when it was John Krasinski's character and he was like in the forest with his son.
oh
And
man,
they came into that old man who had just like I think his
yo,
wife had just got killed.
yeah,
And he was like, fuck it, I don't want to live no more. He was just like, I was like, oh
yo,
shit, nigga, right.
yeah. The whole time
Right, nigga, right.
he's like, dude, fam, come on, man, don't please, fam, don't do that, don't go crazy, fam. And yeah, homeboy lost it, man.
Bro, that was
But
one of the best like movie. So, as far as suspense movies go, and you could if you want to get into the semantics, is it a scary movie technically, or is it more suspense, whatever?
or
I think it
sci-fi.
yes, it's sci-fi, but it's a monster, man. It could be an alien, but at the same time, it's a monster. Like whatever. It's a scary movie too. It's a suspense thriller, scary movie,
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
That's got to be like one of the best I've ever seen. I mean,
Oh yeah, man.
well written, well acted. The use of sound in a way I've never seen done before in a movie or TV show. That thing was great.
Listen, man, like that's surprisingly one of the I think you're right, man. Like, all right, segue topic. So
Okay.
I think that's one of the better creature movies in a long time that has came to theaters, right? Out of recent memory, what is some of the best creature movies? Let's say over the past 5 years.
Shit. Uh, I would have said Quiet Place. Um, can't think of nothing off the top of my head. Interesting genre, but I
Mhm.
would listen. Let me ask you this though: how do you feel about that being maybe the best creature movie you've seen? It's like I try not to say. It's funny. I say I try not to do it, but I can't front. We can't. I'm human. I do it sometimes. Sometimes when you see something or hear an album that's and is or a TV show that's really really great, you be like, "Yo, this might be the best. This might be." But you need time to marinate on it and really. Now the Quiet Place has been out for a few years.
Right.
I'm still. I still struggle to find a suspense slash scary movie that I think is better than the Quiet Place
Now, are we saying of all time or just for right now?
all time.
All right. I got one for you then.
Okay, boom.
John Carpenter's The Thing.
The thing. Mm.
Think about it, man.
Was
For
it a
one,
remake? Are you talking about
not
the
the remake. I'm
original?
talking about the original with Kurt Russell,
Kurt Russell.
made back in the 80s.
I want to say that was a remake though. I
I
want to say the
mean,
thing came out like in the 40s or something.
it is a remake, but then they
Okay.
made another remake, well, a prequel that's based off of the events before the ones made back in the 80s, right?
Okay.
But the creature in that one, the way that was made with the puppetry and the animatronics, and just the story itself, where a creature can somehow gobble you up, and then pretty much it's like invasion of the body snatchers, right?
Mm.
And then you're stuck on some ice country, whatever, and you don't know who is who until like the last moment. And then from there, it's like every piece of your body could be a piece of the creature itself. You know what I'm saying?
You
Like,
know what? I don't think I ever saw it.
oh,
I'm gonna have to
fam,
go back and see that. Is if it's on Netflix or
yo,
whatever?
no, man, that's one movie where you may have to like find it and buy it. Like, I
Yeah.
bought it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I bought it. All right, I got another one for you, man.
Oh, before we go on, yo, shout out to Keith David. Keith David was in that movie.
Exactly, the man. Yup, the
Keith
man.
David.
Yes, sir. All right, Aliens.
Alien. Oh, you talking about like the first one?
The first one or the well,
First
sure,
one.
I'm going for the second one because there was more aliens in that one. That was like the height of the Alien franchise right there.
I mean, great movie, iconic movie, but
Now
even
think about
like,
just the creature itself though.
okay, so we talking about is just the creature
Just
better, the best creature, or are we talking about overall movie
just the
in that
creature.
category?
Yeah, just the
Oh,
creature.
oh yeah, the creatures from Quiet Place, they was I ain't gonna say they trash, but like they are low key trash compared to some of the other great movies like that. I'm talking about just the movie overall,
Okay.
like
Okay.
which one. But if you want to talk about just creatures, oh my god, aliens, it's top three. Aliens got to be top 3.
Hmm.
Predator, got to throw Predator in there.
Okay.
Um, as far as just the creature, yeah. In fact, Aliens might be number one, man. Like
Mm.
Aliens could do no wrong in the '90s. I mean, that thing had a spinoff. I want to say it had a cartoon at some point.
It probably
You
did.
know,
I believe it.
it just sound don't it just sound right? You know what I'm saying? Especially in the '90s, man.
Yo,
If anything
remember,
was a
man?
successful movie, they made a cartoon about
Yeah,
it.
like any R-rated movie back in the 80s and 90s, you can guarantee they was going to sell toys, cereal, and a cartoon at some point.
The cereal, yes. Oh my god, the cereal. Don't
What's it,
forget the cereal.
what's another good one, man? I'm even going to go with like a indie movie. There was an indie movie called Trolls, right? And the movie wasn't itself wasn't great, but the trolls that were like in the movie itself was dope. It's you had actual people that were troll hunters, and they go looking for these trolls in like Sweden or some shit like that, right? Greenland, I forgot. But man, I'm like, hold up, you're trying to hunt down 10-foot, 12-foot trolls by yourself. And it's
Insane.
terrifying as shit, but they look great.
Yeah.
That's one shot I would say like Google Troll Hunter. You know what I'm
Troll
saying?
hunter.
And or no, it's I think it's just called no Trolls was the 80s movie. I think this is called Troll Hunter or something like that, man. But yo, check it out, man. It's pretty dope.
What was them little joints that what were them little joints from the 80s? They not Grem it wasn't Gremlins.
Critters.
Critter. Is that the joint where they could like come together and make like a big ball?
Yeah.
This is why you my nigga, man. Like, yo, you already knew what I was thinking about.
Yo, the minute you said, "Hey, what's that?" I was like, "Critters." Had to be,
That
man.
was so 80s and cheesy, man. So 80s.
But dog, think about it though, man. Them little motherfuckers was terrifying as
Yes.
shit, man.
I remember they ran like they it was like some Looney Tunes level shit because you know how Looney Tunes they like be at the top of a mountain and they drop like a little speck of snow and they just keep going and going and getting bigger and bigger. They did that. They like rolled over a dude and like all that's left was like bones. it's like hilarious. Like I never forget that.
And yo, and like their mouth was so big for like a bunch of sharp teeth in it, man. Like yo,
Right.
as a kid, that scared the shit out of me, man.
Me
But
too, man.
I had to watch part 2. I had to, but you was right. At that point, it just got like funnier and funnier. I got one more for you, man. The Blob.
Right.
As a kid, it scared the shit out of me. But then when I grew up, I'm like, hold up, man. Niggas is dying from the Blob, a slow moving ass Jello monster, and y'all can't run away from it. Now, mind you, the thing behind it is that once you get caught, you know your entire body gets dissolved. But I would say, as far as a creature, it wasn't the greatest. But to me, man, it's just one of the funniest concepts that a blob can kill you as slow as it moves, trying to kill you.
Yeah, you just wanted. I feel like you wanted to die if you get killed by the Blob, bro. Like you had no will to live left, and you was just like, fuck it.
All right. What about either oh shit, Godzilla and King Kong?
They gotta go. All right, so look, let's talk about this, man, because we kind of unwrapping it now, and like, yo, shout out to the geniuses who was trying to argue with me back and forth on Instagram, talking about how Mortal Kombat isn't a hero movie, even though it has every element of every hero movie.
It's a fighting movie, man.
Bro, I was like, man. I was like, look, I'll do a mea culpa with you, whatever. Nigga, if you just want to say that it's not a hero movie like, say, the Avengers, because it's not based off a comic book, it's based off of a video game, I can run with that. But if we take where the source material comes from out of the equation, and we just look at the elements, niggas with powers, bad guys trying to destroy the earth, yada, 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 nigga, it's a hero movie. But anyway, whatever. But what's the difference? Because, like, okay, so is A Quiet Place not considered a scary movie because the creature in it is an alien and not, say, like some kind of spiritual demonic force? But if it was like some kind of spiritual demonic force, would it be considered a scary movie and not a suspense/sci-fi movie? What do you think?
I think Quiet Place is considered a horror suspense movie with a sci-fi element of the aliens. However, to kind of flip it, I can see how people may consider that movie a sci-fi because it is about aliens that is hunting people down. But I think the way that the movie is set up, as far as the actual tension that's in it and the depths that happen from the actual aliens, as I lean it towards horror more than just sci-fi.
I agree. I definitely agree. It's a lot of jump scare moments in it. So to me, that's what's really going to make it horror. And real shit, they don't even they never really address exactly definitively where these creatures came from. It's like some people were saying they was aliens, but then some people in the movie, some people were saying that these are like angels. Remember the people was like quoting the
Yeah.
Bible in it.
Uh,
So it's got horror elements in it too, man. It's just a great ass movie, bro. I'm gonna have to go see the part two. Have you seen part two yet?
nah, but I want to.
I'm
I want
seeing
to,
it.
man.
I gotta see it. If not today, then sometime this week, this upcoming week.
Yeah. And that's,
Yeah.
I mean, I like the the mystery behind it as far as where they came from and why are they here. And it's not really explained, which is why I like it. It's just an unmovable force of nature that somehow the army can't kill. And you get like pockets of people that's trying to survive by staying quiet. Like that entire premise is just dope to me, where you can't even really speak. And these motherfuckers will like race 500 miles per hour to where
To
you're
whip your
at.
ass. I don't know why that this sounds funnier than just killing you and eating you and murdering you. They not. They just
Yo,
coming to whip. What if the aliens legit did that? Like they just you make a sound and they come, they be screaming in your face, and then they just like legit whipped your ass, but they ain't kill you or nothing. That shit would be hilarious to me. Like why
somebody
are they
needs
just
yo, somebody needs to make a skit about that, man.
whooping
Like,
ass?
yeah, it could be an alien like on in like Colorado, and you're in fucking Virginia, and you happen to like stub your toe. It runs all the way here. I'm like, motherfucker, and this jacks you up and then goes off. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, that shit would be funny, man. A skit needs to be made about that, man.
Just out here just whipping asses, bro. That's ridiculous. Just
But
ass whipping this alien of all time.
matter of fact, on the same note, Conjuring 3 is out. It's
Okay.
on HBO Max. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm not the biggest fan of the Conjuring series.
Mhm.
Part two was decent, but I kind of bag on it because I don't like movies about possessions. I don't like movies about ghosts trying to hurt people.
Yeah, I
You know
don't
what I'm
fuck with it.
saying? But the third one, surprisingly, is rated R. But do you have any thoughts about, do you plan on seeing it? Do you plan on bagging on it? Have you even watched the first two movies?
Let me confer with my counsel. Hold on. No. No, no. I don't fuck. Listen, I don't fuck with movies like that either, bro. Like I don't. It was what movie? What it was? Paranormal Activity.
Oh,
I don't know if it was the first one or the
oh,
second one,
right.
but I never forget. I went to the movies to see it, as is my thing. I'm a big movie buff,
Mhm,
so I have no problems. I would rather go with somebody, but I mean, shoot, if I'm on like I'm just getting off work
mhm.
and I'm by the movies, I just go
Right.
dolo. I don't
Yep.
care. Like it's still fun to me. And I was in that movie. I would say within like 10 minutes, I was like, you know what? No. I was like, no. It was something because you know what they do is like the shit ain't made up. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like I'm not even gonna call it lazy writing. It's not necessarily, it could be, but it's not necessarily lazy writing. What they do, they actually draw from actual, writings and demonology and
Reports and yeah.
yeah, reports and all that shit. So it's like, and me, a person who I know people who have been possessed, like real. Like I ain't talking about like you go to some random crazy church in the country, you know what I'm saying, where people is talking like this, you know what I'm saying, and they
Uh-huh.
putting on a show. Like I've seen it happen to somebody I know personally who is not a good actor at all because I've seen them in a play before, like back in high school, and I know that shit is real. So anyway, fast forward to me seeing the movie and the stuff that they were saying, I was like, you know what? No, it felt something in my body, like I felt physically something like just won't right. I got up and left. Now that I think about it, I should have got my money back. Cause I only watched like 10 minutes of the movie,
Okay.
but I was like, fuck it. I think I had to go number two. I don't like going number two in public places sometimes. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, let me get out of. Let me get out of here.
Okay. I'm not gonna front. The first time I saw the first Paranormal Activity movie, man,
Yeah.
by the time that joint, I can't believe I stayed and watched the entire movie. But by the time it was finished, I'm thinking to myself, what the fuck did I just watch?
Right.
Honestly. people. I mean, it's kind of like how I felt watching the Blair Witch Project for the very first time. By the end of the movie, I was pissed off. I'm like, what the fuck am I watching again? And then there was another one, The Village. Remember that movie by M.
So
Night?
M Night Shyamalan.
Yeah. That
Yeah.
was another one where I was like, yo, are you telling me I'm watching an entire fucking movie about these people living in a village and the whole fucking time it's just people that just ran away from society because they can't handle shit. They're a bunch of punk ass bitches and they want to, pretty much make up a whole entire yo, had it been incest that would
Bro,
have run in a village, man. Now that I think about it.
bro, good point. We need we need to do a whole show, or at least a segment on the show, where we just like, give the slaps to these directors
Yeah.
who try to be like so much smarter than they are. Yo, M. Night Shyamalan, he came on what was the first movie? The Sixth Sense, right? The
Oh,
first big movie of his.
great movie.
Yeah, right. Dope, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's like every movie after that almost from him, it was just like it just won't hitting right, man. You know what I'm saying? You know what? We need to do it. We need to do a segment about that. Just
Okay.
like movies,
Uh-huh.
a movie you would go see based on the reputation of the director, but then
Mm.
you get there and it's just like nigga. Like what was that joint with the M Night Shyamalan joint with Mark Wahlberg? It's
Oh,
like The
don't get me
Happening
started,
or
man.
something.
Um,
Nigga.
don't get me started, man. That was
It was like nature. Nature was
yo,
trying to
the
like.
wind is killing people or making people go insane. Yo, what's the joint called again, man? What was it
What the
called?
fuck was the name of that joint?
Oh man,
Let's see. This is why we got Google, man.
Nature.
Good old Google.
M. Night Shyamalan movies.
M Night Shyamalan movie with Mark Wahlberg.
The ninth gate is similar to Frantic, the tenant,
The Happening. It was happening.
The Happening. That's
I'm a
yeah,
secret
man.
genius. I be remembering stuff. I'm a secret genius. But yeah, but you know what though? It was an interesting premise, and the thing that got me to go movie. Now that I think about it, it wasn't just the fact that it was in Shyamalan. It was the premise, and the trailers look so. It's like something is causing people to go crazy, and we don't know what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But it's like the explanation of it is like, oh, so this nature just randomly does that because humans are encroaching on their like territory, and I was like, really,
Yo,
my nigga,
it was so
really?
whack, man. Like they could have replaced that with anything else, man. But no, nature decided to fight back one day, and that's what happened. I'm like, come on, M Night.
And then it just stopped.
Right?
Nature
No,
was like, all right,
it stops
oh,
for
then
a
stop.
moment, but then the wind starts blowing again, and you're like, oh shit, it's back. It's going to kill people.
Fuck you, M Night Shyamalan.
But I will say this though, he did make a because remember, like years later, he made a movie where the kids go to their grandparents' house, but it's not really their grandparents, and the mom is like stuck on a boat with like a boyfriend. So these crazy people start terrorizing the kids, and then after that, he made what was it, Mr. Glass, which was it was okay. Like the outcome could have been better for me, but I'm glad how he like wrapped up. What was it? Unbreakable, Split, and then Mr. Glass to like tie it all together. So I'm like, okay, he's trying to win us back slowly. Like keep making the movies that are that are good. I think matter of fact, I think he either has another movie coming out or he's producing a movie called Old. Have you seen the trailer for that yet?
Old, like OLD?
Yeah.
Old, nah, I haven't seen that.
Okay, so whenever you get a chance, check it out. But I think pretty much the short end of the stick is somehow, some way, young people are growing old incredibly fast to the point where they die, and people don't know why. So that's the premise. So we got to figure out like why is this happening for the most part.
What did you think about his movie Signs with Mel Gibson?
No, no,
No, okay.
no. I hate the whole.
No.
Oh, that's yeah. Fuck that movie, man. This is why, right? This is why, man. So, I
Tell her why you mad, Titan.
all right, so signs are everywhere, right? There's
Mhm.
just the wife is being pinned up to the tree with a damn pole through her body, and she's saying like Jimmy, swing away, and he sees a bat. Like, oh shit, she was trying to tell me I need to hit these motherfuckers with a bat.
Hold on, look. Wait, was it the wife or the little girl? I think it was the little girl, wasn't it?
It was the
The
wife,
alien was about to kill the little girl. Oh, it was the wife?
the wife, the wife. Would remember she got
Okay.
in a car accident, right? And I guess that the truck was like
Oh,
pinning
you talking
her.
about in his head, he could hear her talking. That's what
No,
you're talking about.
no. So apparently, I don't know. It was in her head, but she was pinned to the tree, and Mel goes to find her, and they're having their talk, right? And then she was like, tell so and so I said swing away,
Swing away.
just swing
Ah,
away.
okay. Right. Then at the end, when the alien got the little girl like taking her breath, he like I think he tells Joaquin Phoenix that it's like swing away, and then Joaquin Phoenix do his little slow. So turn around, he sees the bat. You know what I'm saying? That's all. Look, that's it. You know what? Now that I think about it, that's kind of stupid.
And then
Okay,
how the daughter was like, I'm thirsty. I need some
right. And
water.
she always had water around.
Right.
Yeah, he's trying. You know what? I would say this, bro. That movie, okay, it does have some problematic parts, and I'm gonna have to see it again because that thing came out like in '02. So I
Yeah,
was
man.
like
Yeah.
barely. I wasn't even 20 yet. So I gotta see it now that I'm like, you know, what I'm saying a man, and evaluate
Man.
it. A man. Speaking of man, my 13-year-old, his voice is like dumb deep now. It is
Oh
the
man.
funniest thing. I'm like, yo, who is
Yo.
this man in my house? It's just weird, bro. Like it makes me smile every time you say it. Like, hey, dad. Like this little nigga here. But look, check it. I gotta see it as a grown up and see how I feel about it. I will tell you this: the moments they had some nice moments in there. Like my favorite part of the movie, the first time you see the alien, because they make you wait for it. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I
It's a
give it
good
that.
2.5 hour movie, and then it's like, of course, and it's funny because like once you start knowing how different writers in Hollywood and TV shows do shit to forward the plot, it's
Mhm.
like you notice it everywhere. Like they use the news as a way to forward the plot. It's just something they do. You're gonna notice it, and people listening to this shit gonna notice it every time you see it. Now, every TV show, every movie, if it's something they want to tell you about what's going on, they just have the main characters watch the news, and the news that just happen to be, you know what I'm saying, give you vital information about the plot.
Mm.
But anyway, it was like they was looking at the news, and it was like a kid's birthday party. Then they saw the alien just like
Yeah.
walk. I was like, oh shit. That part was kind of dope, man. You can't
No
tell that part
man.
it gets you a little
No
bit. In the
man.
movies, the first time you see it, I was like, yeah, that's
No
kind of
man.
ill.
Uh-uh.
Kind of
Nah.
ill, bro.
I ain't rocking, man.
Nah.
I ain't rocking with that shit, man. Mm-mm.
Swing away, nigga.
Like, you
This
know
nigga's
what?
a.
I do got a bat in a corner, and my
But see,
sister
that's dumb
just
as
said
hell, though.
to
Because
swing
think
away.
about it. Even if you are a MLB level player, you can swing a bat harder than an average guy. But you telling me no other guy has thought to get a baseball bat that you happen to have and just hit the motherfucker? Like everybody knows that you break into a random person's house to steal some stuff. If they don't got a gun, they might have a bat. A regular person can do a lot of damage with a baseball. You don't have to be a professional baseball player to do damage to somebody with a metal fucking bat. Like,
Right.
but you know, this is M Night we talking about, man. So
Yeah. I mean, yeah, we got to do a whole segment of just, I guess the movies made by great directors, but they were boo boo. I think every director has at least one of them. At least one big ass movie where it's like, what the fuck was you smoking?
we are none of us perfect.
But we like those moments because we want to see what you do after. But there is one director, and I'll leave it at this, that keeps making shitty ass movie. Paul W.S. Anderson. That's the guy
Okay.
that made Postal, the Resident Evil movies, and Monster Hunter.
Mm.
Them shits, like, oh, okay. I'll leave that for a different day.
I
But
can't even believe you went to go see Resident Evil. You should have known what you was getting into.
I mean,
Come
I
on,
was,
bro.
we were talking about it on the past podcast. I'm a big
Yeah,
fan of Resident Evil, man. I'm like, you know what?
got you.
It might get better. Next movie. It might get better. Next movie. I
In
don't
fact, hey,
let's see
did you
how it
say that
ends.
about Mortal Kombat? This last Mortal Kombat, he's like, okay, they set up a new one. Maybe the next one. Gee, we're gonna put you in rehab, bro. Like
I mean,
you're
look, man,
repeating the pattern, man.
I want to finish what I started. And you know what? That is a perfect segue. Perfect segue, man. Great job, guy. Great job, man.
That's what I
So
do.
we're coming across almighty Netflix and chill, Netflix, this and that, whatever, right? So
Yeah.
apparently in the news, they just canceled Jupiter's Legacy by comic book writer Mark Millar, who was the creator of the comic book series, and he was the executive producer on the show as well. But come to find out, Netflix spent $200 million on the show, 8 episodes, and after one season, it got canceled. So people are saying maybe it was the cost, maybe it wasn't getting a lot of reviews, or more good reviews. I'm thinking it's the wigs and the costumes that cost too much, and they couldn't do the same thing for another second or third season, right? But this kind of goes into the whole Netflix curse of, man, like Netflix can't keep a good show for nothing. After a season, two or three, they cancel it. It's not even worth it as a creator to make a show or a movie on Netflix. What do you think?
Yeah, those wigs were like wherever Tyler Perry gets his wigs from, I feel like it went they went to the white version of that store and got
Uh-huh.
the wigs are horrible. But once if you can get past the wigs on Jupiter's Legacy and you get back this whole code that the heroes have that they keep harping on like every
Right.
damn episode,
Hmm.
you take those two elements and just take them for what they are and just see what's left. It was a really good show. It was a really good show. It wasn't on the level of Invincible or The Boys, but by itself, it was pretty good. I was actually looking forward to the second season, but now we ain't getting that, bro. We are not getting that. So I don't know, like because this is the thing. Netflix doesn't share everything
No.
about the decisions they make because Netflix they actually forget social media, forget what's trending here, what's trending there as far as their shows and movies go. They can see exactly how many people have watched it. They can see the ratings that people give these movies behind the scenes. So
Hmm.
maybe it wasn't doing too good as far as how many
Yeah.
people watched it as compared to how much it's gonna cost to do another season.
Right.
And they was like, whatever. I always thought it was interesting anyway, just with Netflix, because like the way they do stuff is a little bit different. It's like
Hmm.
when you talking about regular TV, it's like you have a pilot show and you see how that show gets rated, by focus groups, by the Nielsen rating. Some people have like Nielsen rating boxes, at their house, and that's basically how networks decide what shows are hot, what shows are whack, and what's
Right.
in between. And based on that, they're gonna say we're gonna bring you back or we're not. Because if it's a show that's rated highly, they know they can sell ads, for that show to different people that make different products or whatever. But Netflix is different though, because Netflix is all subscription based. So how they evaluate what's going to be a show they're going to keep and what's going to be a show they're going to axe, we kind of like we kind of in the dark. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So with this one, I don't know. I don't know what rhyme or reason they have for canceling this joint.
And see, to me, man, I wish what the show could have done was do an Invincible, where the first episode it plays like a common comic book story, right? But then at the end, you get the twist, and I'm just gonna go ahead and spoil it now because fuck it, we ain't
Might
gonna
as
get
well.
a new season, right? But in the
Right.
very first comic book, or at least the first graphic novel, from what I can remember, the parents end up dying brutally by the nephew and the son. The uncle and the son. The uncle somehow convinces the son, like, yo, fuck this hero code. We need to take the world back and we need to have some control over it. But in order to do so, we have to take out your parents first. and dog, they brutally massacre the parents, man, and the son feels no way about
Uh,
it. And then the daughter,
uh,
who is, the druggie, she ends up, like running away with the guy with that with
he can
that
like
stick.
teleport or something.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And like
Yeah.
years down the line, they have a kid, and the kid, and they're always on the run. But then eventually the kid was like, yo, I want to be a hero that does good things, and they get found out. But they come up with a scheme of like, you know what? We're going to take out my brother and my uncle. So we're going to free all of the villains and strike back at the heroes or the better heroes, right? And I'm like, damn, man. I think if they would have done that for like the first season, that would have kept people coming back like more and more and more. And then you can always do like flashbacks of how like the parents try to instill this code into their kids and to like the other groups. But again, man, it just goes to show like I guess some shows ain't for everybody, man. And I think with this one, they could have done the whole invincible approach where you give people the big what the fuck moment at the end of the show, and then you play up the mystery throughout the end of it. That I think that might have been a great way to like keep people watching the show, coming back to it, and it might have stayed, man. But people blame it on Netflix. Like this is what Netflix does. After a good season or two, they will like cancel you. And why would you do a show for Netflix when you know that this is what they do? It's kind of like how back in the nights where people were saying like, why would you sign to Bad Boy? Puffy is going to take your money. You know what I'm saying? He's going to put you on the shelf. You're going to come out with an album and then never be heard from him again. Like, why would you do it?
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, hey, man, it's but at the same time though, we love Netflix because they do mess and fire every once in a while, man. Yeah, I mean, shoot, they got my show Money Heist coming back for like a third season. That's a dope ass show.
Money Heist, is that the ain't it like Italian or something?
Yeah, Italian
Oh,
or like yeah, it's Italian, but dog, it's a fun show, man.
I'm gonna
Fun
check it
show,
out.
man. I mean, they got it in dub too, but people say like, man, they ain't shit to watch on Netflix. But I'm like, yo, there is things up there to watch. It may be foreign, but it's dubbed. Like they got another one called Lupin, and it's about like a French black burglar. You know what I'm saying? And that show right there is dope. It's
Wait,
coming back.
is that in English?
It's in French, but they got a dub in English.
I've seen that. Netflix knows that I'm black, so Netflix
They
all.
market it.
Oh my god! Every time it's news with Lupin, like they
They
never
know.
watched it once, not never seen the first season at all. Every time
Uh,
one of my shows is over, they recommend Lupin. And
wow.
this shit knows I'm black. It's
So
hilarious.
the data that they bought from some hacker was like, yo, this guy right here, Chris Thomas at gmail.com, whatever,
Now,
he black. So let's gonna market the black shows to him.
in the words of Stats Guy, they got some kind of black algorithm, a
I don't
blaggorithm
know.
that lets
Don't
that
say
lets
that,
them
man.
know they know. They know. It's like if you watch one show, because I think about it, the most of the stuff that's in my library isn't even, you know what I'm saying, like black stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's mostly superheroes. It's like it's a couple of shows that's African American or whatever.
Right.
But Netflix, them niggas, they trust me. Them niggas, I guarantee
They
you,
know.
it's somebody that's white that's getting who watches all the same shit I watch, but it's getting different recommendations. I
Mhm.
guarantee you.
Yeah, that's how it is, man.
I
But
ain't mad
also,
though.
so Chris and I, we have our own Instagram as well, right? Geek Seller now. And we was talking about this show called Kim's Convenience, which just got canceled after 5 seasons. And supposedly there was some vaccine drama as to why the show got canceled. Now, for everybody that does not know, it's about a Korean family centered around the Uma and the Appa that runs a convenience store, and the son and daughter have their own lives, right? But it's a funny as comedy set in Canada, primarily an Asian cast. But supposedly, they're going to do a spin-off of the show with a white character from it. Not even the main character, but the optics seem funny. Whereas you would take a predominantly show centered around this family and around the culture of this family, then do a spin-off about something else completely different. It's weird. Now, this show was not canceled by Netflix. It was canceled by the producers, and nobody knows the exact reason why. It's kind of like, imagine, Black Panther, the first movie comes out. Then for whatever reason, they don't do a second one, but instead they're going to do a spin-off movie about the white agent. You know what I'm saying? The optics doesn't look right. And, we was going back and forth with a lot of people on Instagram about it. And there was this one person that had the sense of saying I'm tired of people looking at this, about race. And it's like, matter of fact, Chris, I'll let you expound on this topic right here, man. Sir.
Censor myself. Sir. Sir. This, man, you ever just wake up in the morning and you feeling good, and then you check your phone and you go into your notifications and it's like whatever. And then out the blue, somebody say something off the wall. First thing in the morning,
right,
bro, it took everything inside me to not just yo. You ever seen that joint? It'll be responding to somebody. It's like a little video, but all they show is a text response. It'll be no, fuck you, nah, and then they show them erasing it, and then be like, well, I think that you should, you know what I'm saying? I had that moment because I had my response out. So the brother, and it was a brother. That's the shit that made me mad. Because if it was a white dude, I would have tried to educate him and be like, okay, maybe he's ignorant to certain things, right? But it being a brother, that really made me give him the side eye, because it's like, there's not a lot of Black representation in, TV shows and movies. Not a lot compared to how much of the population we comprise. If we're 15 or 20% of the population, it stands to reason we should be 15 to 20% of the TV shows, the movies, yada, yada, yada. It's not like that. We're probably something like 2% or something crazy like that. Asian people have even less representation on TV. So I was like, yo, he was like, no, I start over what he said. So he's like, why do you have to bring race into this? And it's not about race. It's a funny show. And I'm pretty sure the spinoff is going to be good. Like, I just don't like when people bring race into things. I was like, bro, being able to say I don't see color is a white man's luxury. It's a white man's luxury. You don't get to do that if you're Black. You can do it, but understand you're doing it to your detriment. You know what I'm saying? Because just because you don't see it, don't mean other people don't see it. So it's like, I almost forget sometimes that I'm Black. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm just a dude trying to do right. You know what I'm saying? Trying to get my podcast off. I podcast off, trying to do right with my family, blah, blah, blah. So I go to the grocery store, and I notice sometimes when I pass by a white lady, she might hold onto her purse a little bit. And it's like the thought comes like, oh yeah, oh, okay. You don't know me. You don't know I've never stolen anything in my life. You just see a Black dude, a big Black dude, dark skin, dreadlocks. You automatically think, cell block D. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's where her mind goes. It's like, oh yeah, racism. I forgot. Still got to deal with that. You know what I'm saying? So real shit. I wanted to just be like, yo, fuck you. How come you don't know? Why do I have to have this conversation with you about representation, brother? Like, you should know this, brother. Like, how do you not know it? But I didn't go there. I was just like, it's not a lot of Black people on TV and movies. It's not a lot of, it's even less Asian folks. So the Asian show goes away. And like you said, the character they choose to do a spinoff for is a white character. And I really like how you put it. It would be like having the agent from Black Panther be the next Black Panther. So Black Panther 2 starring the white agent. It's like, come on. You got all of these great black characters within Wakanda, but the spinoff is going to be for the white Asian. It's just not good optics at all. Not a good
Yeah,
look.
and I'm not bagging on the actress, that may end up doing it. I mean, shit, man. I mean, I like white shows. One of the whitest
Me
shows ever,
too.
Frasier, is dumbass funny.
Frasier is funny. That is one of my. It's like one of my top 5 shows of
Right,
all. Knows. I mean, I love that show. Kelsey
right.
Grammer is funny. Shout out to Kelsey Grammer,
Yeah,
executive produce. He actually executive produced Girlfriends.
girlfriends. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
exactly. Yeah, but I
Frasier,
mean,
it's hilarious.
yeah, but
Yeah.
again, it just seems a way where this particular show was doing great. The ratings were killing it. Nobody had an issue with the show whatsoever. But the producers of the show, for again, whatever it means or whatever they came up with, they figured, you know what? Let's stop this gravy train and then let's do a spinoff about Shannon, Jung's boss at the car rental spot. Now, I mean, granted, she's funny, but again, it just looks away. The
It's the
optics
opposite.
don't look right. It's like,
You
yo,
know what?
you got so many other characters on the show that were Asian, that were funny. Because shit, I learned shit about Koreans I never knew about watching the
Mhm.
show. I learned some of the language. I'm like, yo, this is dope. I'm not only am I laughing, but I'm being educated too about how, a certain slice of life when it comes to Koreans. You know what I'm saying? Koreans
Facts.
living in Canada. And now we're not going to get that. We're going to get more of the same with this white character. Again, I'm not bagging about her race, but it just doesn't look right. It doesn't
You know
look
what it
right.
is? You know what? Context matters. Context matters. If we're living in a post-racial society where everybody's equal, where representation is equal, where there's justice for everybody the way that America is supposed to be, then cool. I don't care who gets the spinoff. It could be the white person, could be a Korean person, could be a
Right.
black person, whatever. It doesn't matter. But when you're talking about in the context of there not being a lot of Asian shows, now we have a successful Asian show, and it's so successful that we're going to do a spinoff now that the 5 year run on this show is over, and the person you choose is a white person. Now, in
Perfect example.
context, man, context. We're
Hmm.
we're not yet in that post-racial society. You know what I'm saying? It's bad optics, man.
Right. And I
Bad
can
optics.
understand if it was like maybe an ensemble show where the show was centered around like a group of people of all races. That would have made
That's
sense. Like, all
different.
right,
Yeah, that's
it's
different.
different, but this is about a Korean family, mainly just them and what they go through every single day, which was, you know, I mean, hey man, I just started watching the show this past weekend and I haven't stopped since. Like it is a really funny show, man. Heartwarming too, which is what I like. It kind of gives you that how like some of the sitcoms back like in the in the mid late 90s about families, right? It was funny, kind of corny, but heartwarming. This is how I feel about that show. So I'm glad I got that nostalgia feel back from watching this. So, but I will employ everybody, if you can, go watch Kim Convenience. It's pretty fun,
Ooh,
pretty dope.
yo, on it while we on the topic of Netflix and shows, and look at you with the segue, my man. That's my terrible Denzel impression. Look, the Upshaws. I don't know if you got a chance to see it
No,
yet.
not yet, but that's
Mike
on my
Epps,
list.
Wanda Sykes.
Yeah.
Normally, I'm not the biggest Mike Epps fan. I think Mike Epps is funny, but to me, he's more naturally funny and less, write a joke that's great like a Dave Chappelle funny. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? I compare it to like everybody got that one funny uncle. You know what I'm saying, at the cookout. I mean, he just loud and crazy
Right.
and becoming off the wall with like comedy, and he's the life of the party. To me, that's who Mike Epps is.
All right.
But as far as the specials, they kind of hit and miss. The Upshaws is like one of listen. It's almost up there. with like Martin and like Fresh Prince as
Okay.
far as how funny it is. In fact, I'll put it up there.
Wow.
I think it's like
That's
10
a
episodes. I watched them all in one day.
okay.
That show is hilarious.
Okay.
Like you don't really get black sitcoms like that no more. I
Right.
feel like the '90s was like the golden era of black sitcoms. This the Upshaws, it belongs right there. Wanda Sykes is hilarious in it. Mike
Uh,
Epps is hilarious in it. Man, it's just a really funny show. So check that out if you haven't seen it yet.
there's some people that we follow on Instagram. I forgot
Yeah,
the name, man. I gotta find y'all and plug y'all. So I'm sorry, but they was talking about how like in the show, and you watch it, so it's not based off like a rich black family like Blackish, right?
facts.
And it feels more real in that sense. And some people, I guess, were talking about how why they got to show black people in this light. And one of them was saying, like, everybody is not rich. Everybody doesn't have that ultimate success story. Sometimes, people do work shitty ass jobs, and it's okay to make a show about, this regular people working jobs like that. And
Mhm.
and it's okay if you don't become a black entrepreneur. It's okay if you don't become a doctor or a social influencer or somebody rich. It's okay not to show that because a lot of people are just working blue collar people 9 to 5, and it's okay to show black people as that bunch as well. So I thought it was pretty dope hearing that because for so long we always said like damn, why they always show us as like gangsters or as thugs in movies.
Mhm.
Why not more shows and movies about us being successful and things like that, being the head coach of the team, or being the doctor, or being the fireman, the police officer, the army vet, whatever. But their stance on how it's okay just to show, black people or people in general, man, just like yo, I work a 9 to 5, or I work at a grocery store, or I work as a mechanic, and I'm making it work
Right.
for what I have. So is the show more like a real take about this working people just living their lives?
Facts. It is. You know what? Kind of it's kind of been an overreaction to us as black people always being like a stereotypical person in a show or a movie. You know what I'm saying? If you're talking about the 70s, 80s, even up into the 90s, early 2000s too, is what they said is kind of true. If you take out the Cosby show, most of the time on the show, the brother would be, if a brother got to be on the show, he was like, a crook, he was a hustler, he was a pimp, something, a negative connotation. So as to kind of try to tip it the other way, when a black show would come on, the producers would be sure, like, look, okay, we don't want to do that stereotypical thing, so we're gonna have, you know, the mom be, I don't know, what was Aunt Viv on the Fresh Prince? What was she? Was she a lawyer? No, she wasn't a lawyer.
I'm not sure what
She
Envy
had a
was,
job.
man.
I do not remember. And I'm talking about the original Aunt Viv. That's my Aunt Viv. That's the only Aunt Viv I recognize. I'm
Okay.
sorry. It is what it is. But
Uh,
no, but Uncle Phil, a judge, you know what I'm saying? Carlton, a nerd, but he gets great, grades, and he's going to be successful when he gets his career. Even though Martin, he's a radio DJ, but he's not a
yeah.
radio DJ. Then he gets his own talk show. The Cosby Show, a doctor and a lawyer. You know what I'm saying? And that's cool, but at the
Ghost,
same time,
club
it's
owner,
nothing. Huh?
and
Club
Ghost
owner?
from Power.
Oh, it's a ghost, club owner. Right, right, right.
Club
Yeah,
owner
yeah.
slash
Tommy.
serial killer.
He was all, he was all, oh, he's like Dexter level, sir. He was always like putting on his. It made you want to put a suit on. Look, Tommy, I'm gonna be at the club. It's like this nigga was at the club every episode. But like, I don't have any problem with you showing us, because black people aren't a monolith. The same way you got black doctors and lawyers, you do got my neighbor across the street is a drug dealer. He is a legit drug dealer. How do I know? I've never asked him about it because that ain't my business. But it's always a different car at his house. There's people coming in and out. That nigga sells drugs. As long as you know ain't no shootouts and you don't bring nothing across the street to me, I'm cool. Do what you do. You know what I'm saying? It's not cool. You shouldn't sell drugs. You know what I'm saying? We at Geek Style do not condone people selling drugs, but it's a reality. People sell drugs. Black people sell drugs. White people sell drugs because it's people like doing drugs or whatever. So they gonna try to make the money. But like just be, show us in different lights, man. Like I have no problem you showing us as a thug if you also gonna show us as a lawyer. Show us as a ball player or a rapper, but also show us as a mechanic or somebody that works in a different trade. Because black people are not a monolith. That's the problem. They was trying to like just put us, pigeonhole us into you can only do this on TV, you can only do this in a movie, but that's not our experience. We all know brothers who's doing upstanding work in the community. We also know brothers who probably tearing down the community. You know what I'm saying? The cool part about the Upshaws, like you said, Mike Epps' character definitely a blue collar dude. He's a mechanic. He has some baby mama drama. He don't always get it right. He's kind of a f up, but at the same time, he's trying to do right by his kids. You know what I'm saying? Just to give you a little bit of the backstory, it starts out. Um, he's like maybe 16 in high school. He gets his high school sweetheart pregnant. And then I guess he just goes off somewhere for like maybe 15 years, go run the streets. He's an absentee father, right? Then he comes back, he does right his by his high school sweetheart. He comes back into, her life and the kid's life. But by that time, the kid is like 15, 16 years old. He don't want nothing to do with him. But him and the high school sweetheart end up getting married and having more kids. So now, fast forward to present day, they got a 30-year-old son, which was the original kid. And then they got like a 13-year-old and like a 5-year-old. So he's always been there in the life of the 13-year-old and the 5-year-old. But the 30-year-old resents him because he wasn't there the first 15, 16 years of his life. So you see that dynamic. And then on top of that, at some point in their marriage, they were on a break, they were separated. He ends up getting another girl pregnant. So he has another son who's also 13 from another woman. So he kind of has some baby mama drama. You know what I'm saying? But that's real though. Like I know dudes who got a lot of baby mama drama. Like it happens. You know what I'm saying? Adults like to have sex. Sometimes when you have sex, people get pregnant, and this is real. It's just one of those things. The overall theme of the show is him trying to, even though he's a f up at times, him trying to do better, and the hilarity that comes with that. So it's a lot of real elements to it, but it's also a lot of that comedy, that '90s era. Even to go back further, the whole Sanford and Son, Fred Sanford and Aunt Esther, snapping on each other. Mike Epps and Wanda Sykes, they snapping on each other. It's hilarious. It's a good show, man. Start watching it today. It's that good. Really good. Hold on, I can't hear you.
How about now?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Yeah, man. I think we can leave it there, man. Last great words of the show. Go watch the Upshaws. Great Netflix
Watch
show.
the Upshaws.
Then watch Cam's Convenience, because it's been on for 5 seasons, and Jordan on the conversation.
Cool. Damn, you know what? See, that's what happens when you have a freestyle show. We didn't even do the introduction. We're going to do the introduction of this show at the end. So this is episode 35. I want to thank everybody. Thank everybody for watching Geek Salad. This is episode 35. Like and subscribe. Also, let us know what shows that you think Netflix pulled the plug on too soon. We want to know your thoughts.
Perfect thought. That's right. And remember, everybody, we post a podcast every Wednesday at 8 p.m. And be on the lookout. We're going to be on Twitch pretty soon. We're going to start doing some live shows. So we'll be going to our Instagram and doing more polls, more YouTube shorts, more of everything, just to give y'all more and more contact from the Geek Salad boys. So with that being said, I'm G. That's ARye. And we'll see y'all next time. Peace
out.
All right. Hold on, let me stop that bad boy.